Another day, another libtard calling for the murder of conservatives.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe.
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit, or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period.
Oh, they keep wanting to say it's a both sides issue. I think freaking not. Welcome back to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. We are coming up on 29 days of this Democrat-led government shutdown, and it has just been so fascinating watching them scramble with the messaging, trying to peddle this lie that they're not actually to blame for the shutdown. It's not us. It's that mean orange man. Orange man bad. And you have, I think, some dumbasses who are falling for it, who are just already brain dead liberals. There's no hope. There's no way out for them. However, I personally love, you always know when the Democrats have jumped the shark, when they have the CNNs and the MSNBCs of the world actually pushing back on them, actually like not buying their bullshit. That's when you know they are in deep shit. And so I want to play Jake Tapper actually doing an act of journalism for once.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding their tactics.
The White House. Well, this is a choice by the White House.
This is also, Congresswoman, this is also a choice by Senate Democrats to not vote to open the government. Yes, it is.
At the end of the day, people need to be able to feed their families, and Saturday is when those funds run out.
If you feel so strongly, Congresswoman, why not ask the Senate Democrats from New Mexico to vote to open the government?
She's like, Jake, listen, told me I was coming on CNN. I thought I was going to get a little bit better of a reception here. I didn't think you were actually going to push back on me. You guys never push back on me. What gives, Jake? They even see, the liberal media even sees, guys, we've already lost all our credibility. We can't continue to spin this lie because it's so blatantly obvious that it's you. It's so obvious that the people who are to blame for this, who are creating all of this mess, is just you. And remember, why? Why are the Democrats doing this? Why are they doing it? Well, mostly so that they can make sure that illegal aliens have access to healthcare subsidies. Remember that, okay? But even so, I just love watching the media just like, no, that's just not true. Here's another one for you.
You know, I agree with you. I think shutdowns are terrible, and it's an indication, quite frankly, of the breakdown of the political process here.
Are you ready to vote with the Republicans to reopen the government at this point as a reasonable Democrat? Maybe others would follow you.
You know, I'm not there yet because we have had literally, Joe, no discussion whatsoever about how we're going to deal with these spikes.
This is the right way to do it,
premiums.
Senator? By people not getting paychecks at the TSA? This is extortion. You think this is the right way to do it? In your conscience, you think it's the right way to do it?
He's like, government shutdowns are really bad, but let me tell you why it's good in this particular instance. And remember, we are talking about these subsidies that will just funnel a bunch of money to these insurance companies. These are COVID-era subsidies that would just be a payday for all of these insurance companies who are already making absurd amounts of profit. So are the Democrats truly for the people? Well, if you're an illegal alien, good news for you. The Democrats are actually for you. If you're a gang member, the Democrats are actually for you. If you are an illegal gang member, the Democrats actually are in love with you. But if you are just an average American citizen, no, the Democrats don't care at all. And so to watch them go out there and lie to the American people and think that people are not going to finally call them out on it is just nuts. I want to play another one here. Jeff Merkley talking about, no, it's the Republicans that are doing this.
We do not have the power of the minority party in one chamber to be able to get these benefits rolling, except by trying to tell the truth and make it clear that the Republicans are responsible and have them go, okay, we'll fix it.
I mean, how in the world would the Republicans be responsible for this? The Republicans, remember, America decided in November to put the Republicans in the driver's seat. They said, we want the Republican in the presidential office. We want Republicans to lead in the House, and we want Republicans to lead in the Senate. So, no, as a minority party, you really don't have the right to hold the country hostage because you're mad that a bunch of illegals aren't getting health care benefits. Now, actually, let me be clear. Clearly, you do have the right because you've just done it. But you don't have the right to escape responsibility for your decision. I mean, you just did it. Our country was set up so that there was no one party that could just take full power and just drive all the way into the sunset with it. So, clearly, you can exercise your right to do this, but you can't escape the consequences of it. And it's just, you watch these Democrats. Some of them are like, no, it's the Republicans. And then the other ones are like, actually, we are shutting things down on purpose because we have to. This is just a play in a much larger game to get all of the things that we want, all of the freebies that we want, which are actually conveniently never free, as it turns out. But it sounds nice when we call them that. So I want to play for you Representative Katherine Clark. Now, you may be thinking, who the hell is Katherine Clark and why do I care? Well, she's actually the second highest ranking member of her party's leadership. She is the minority whip in the House. So pretty high up in the rankings. And you have someone who is very high up in the Democrat Party. I don't know if she accidentally said the quiet part out loud. Maybe she did, or maybe she's just admitting it. I'm not quite sure. But here is Katherine Clark just admitting they're doing this on purpose.
I mean, shutdowns are terrible. And of course, there will be, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously. But it is one of the few leverage times we have.
Oh, did you hear that? She admitted of course families will suffer, but we need the leverage, guys. Of course you guys are going to run out of benefits. You're not going to get food stamps. But we need the leverage, guys. Listen, you think your suffering is that important? It's not important to us. You and your suffering is just leverage for us. So get over it. Now, I was going to say, the poor people who can't go get their food on their EBT cards, but we played last show all of the people who were actually taking all of the EBT subsidies. And as it turns out, I don't feel sorry for them at all. But the other people, I do feel sorry for. Here is Senator Chris Coons once again admitting to what their overall strategy is and admitting, yes, it actually is the Democrats who are causing all of this.
Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. Frankly, this is our only moment of leverage. And although a very unpleasant tool to use.
He just said it. He just said exactly what I said. Oh my God. Chris Coons and I agree for once in our lives. He just said it. Republicans are in charge. What he's missing there is America elected those Republicans to be in charge because they decided they didn't trust the Democrats. And so he says, well, Republicans are in charge. This is our only play. We need the leverage. Screw y'all and your food stamps, screw the military, screw the air traffic controllers, screw everyone who's affected by this. We need the leverage because we can't get it anywhere else. It's despicable. It's absolutely so despicable. You know what else is despicable? Governor Gavin Newsom from California, he is just basically cheering them on to keep going. Oh, SNAP benefits end November 1st. Keep going, Democrats. You're doing a great job.
But as it relates to the shutdown, I think the Democrats have asserted themselves brilliantly.
Brilliantly. The Democrats have asserted themselves brilliantly. Tell me again how you can say that it's President Trump's fault, it's Republicans' fault, when you have all of these high-ranking Democrats admitting this is a strategy. A strategy in what? A game. Because, as you will hear Representative Brad Schneider say, this is actually just a game to them.
DDHQ average of poll shows Republicans' favorability rising during the shutdown.
So let me ask you a different question. Did you watch the baseball game last night?
No, sir.
18 innings. If you would ask me in the 9th inning, 10th inning, 11th inning, who was winning, I couldn't tell you because the game's not over till the game's over. Democrats are fighting for Americans' health care to lower costs for Americans.
I mean, we call it a political game, and I think the fact remains Democrats are voting to keep the government shut down.
It's just a game. It's all just a baseball game to them, actually. Any American who suffers because of this government shutdown, which, by the way, I would like to make a point right here before we keep going. I think our government should be so small that nobody is affected by the government shutdown. That there are, maybe you could point to a handful of people, maybe the military and Congress members, but I don't care about them because they get paid far too much money to be criminals. We shouldn't be talking about literally millions of people who are in dire need because the government is shut down, because it's absurd that they have that much power and they control that much of your life and your finances in the first damn place. But you have these Democrats who are going out there. I want to play you Rubin Gallego, who's talking about but why are you guys doing this? But what about all of the people who are suffering? And this dumbass is like, but Orange Man bad.
And in the past, Democrats, when Republicans have tried to do something like this, Democrats have argued that the norms of our government should be that you negotiate policy outside of a government shutdown. I mean, I have over many years covering Washington, people have said that over and over and over again. And now I have neighbors in the D.C. area who are both employed by the federal government who are having to use food banks. We are heading into Thanksgiving. Why is it suddenly right to do it this way and to do it for this long when it didn't used to be the right way in Democrats' view?
Why?
Well, that's an easy answer. It's Donald Trump.
He's literally broken them. That is their only refutation to anything anyone asks them. Durr, Orange Man bad, durr. By the way, CNN accidentally committing another act of journalism there. It's actually truly incredible to see them accidentally do work, accidentally push back, accidentally ask good questions. Wonder how long that's going to last. But again, that is how bad these Democrats are operating right now. Now, there is another aspect to this, which is, are they just lying? I mean, I said this all the time during the Biden regime. I don't know if they're that evil or if they're that incompetent because there is just so much of all of those things going on at the same time. It's hard to say, are they lying or are they just stupid? Like, how would you know? The bar is so low for both of those things. So let me just play you Delia Ramirez, who apparently maybe, I don't know, doesn't understand how the government actually works.
The point is this. They are in control. Republicans control the House. They control the Senate. Some would argue they're controlling the Supreme Court most days, and they control the White House. This government shutdown is all theirs. The starving children is going to be on them. And how do you play with children's lives?
Delia. Can I call you Delia? Come on. Are you so retarded that you can't do simple math? Or are you just willfully lying to the American public? Because you should know, especially being that you are there in Washington, D.C., you should know You need 60 votes in the Senate to get this package through, and there are only 53 Republicans. And as it turns out, 53 is a lower number than 60. And yet, this woman is up there voting on legislation. Can't even do first grade math, up there voting on legislation. Or she knows that that's not true. She just thinks that you are so damn dumb, you're just going to eat it up. She thinks you're the dumb one. I don't know. You let me know what you think. Is Delia Ramirez simply retarded, or is she just lying to the American people? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. Make sure to smash the like button while you're at it. Let's get everyone. Listen, I see the amount of people who are watching in the live premiere. You're not all hitting the thumbs up button. You're not all hitting the like button. And one of these days, I'm going to find you. I'm going to leave that right there because I don't want YouTube to ding me for anything when I'm totally being sarcastic. Just make sure you hit the damn like button, all right? So I want to play one more. Let's play a Democrat actually saying that Democrats are to blame, but they're still not listening to reason.
One of your colleagues, Jared Golden, who's from Maine, he says that the party's position, your own party position, on the shutdown is, quote, wrong. He criticized the decision to make the Obamacare subsidies temporary, adding, quote, I'm just uncomfortable lying about the strategy to win and shutting down the government. We've never been the party that does that. What do you say to his suggestion that that is the motivation, winning?
We're still not the party who does it. The Republicans have the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives.
Guys,
so I refuse to accept the notion that
it's math.
Democrats are responsible.
It's just simple math, guys. They think that this is going to work. Is it going to work? Is it working on you? Is it working on your family members? If it is, send them this show right now. Share this show with a family member or a friend or your entire social media orbit so that they can understand what's actually going on here, okay? The Democrats don't care about the American people. The shutdown is just leverage. How many times do they have to say it before you believe them? I want to thank our sponsor, Relief Factor. Relief Factor is it's very, very potent anti-inflammatory that is there for those of you who you live with pain. And if you deal with pain every day, I know because I've dealt with pain every day. I was in a really terrible car accident with someone who, as it turns out, was not a good person, also not a good driver. And I was left with all of this back pain, protruding discs, all this. And Relief Factor has greatly helped me, as well as many people in this building. So if you are living with any sort of pain in your body, it's probably the inflammation that's causing the pain. And if you can get rid of that inflammation, you can change your life. Go try their 3-week quick start over at relieffactor.com. It is backed by a guarantee, so you have nothing to lose except your pain. Go to relieffactor.com to get that 3-week quick start. That is relieffactor.com. Joining me now in studio, we have Matthew Mausdon, Blaze TV contributor and actor and producer extraordinaire, along with our very own Steve Baker, who is unfortunately not with us in studio, but we couldn't. Steve, we missed you for so long. You've been gone for so long. So, I mean, I guess this is better than nothing, but we miss you. Steve Baker, our Blaze Media investigative journalist. And before we get into what I did have planned, Steve, I do want to ask you, you've got a new article out on theblaze.com that people can go to right now. It says, analysis, FBI's January 6th pipe bomb update omits key evidence and withholds video. So can you give us a brief summary of what you guys have uncovered as the latest?
Yeah. First of all, yes, I miss the hell out of you guys too, especially you too. Obviously, all the action is happening, here in this. There it is, the dome, and under that dome, and in other buildings here in this city where I'm at right now. But the pipe bomb thing, which happened a few blocks from here, 5.5, almost 6, almost 4.5, almost 5 years ago now, is still the biggest mystery of January 6th. And it's the most confounding because it's something that should have been easily and quickly solved. and we have tremendous doubts about what the previous FBI was doing on this case, and we're not so sure about what the current FBI is doing on this case either. It seems to be that the new FBI is looking a whole lot like the old FBI, at least when it comes to these types of issues. And there's a reason why I say that. One of the things that we were promised by the new regime, and that's, Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino, is that they were going to tell us what happened with this pipe bomb, or these two pipe bombs, the one at the Democratic National Committee headquarters, and then, of course, the one that has been referred to as the RNC, or Republican National Committee headquarters, but it really never was an RNC pipe bomb. It was actually placed behind the Capitol Hill Club. But we have since learned, and this is the big news, one piece of the puzzle that we've uncovered here and that we have exclusively released through the Blaze, is that the RNC bomb was never intended, the DNC bomb was never intended to be at the DNC. It was actually, the original target was the Congressional Black Caucus Institute. And that's where the hoodied, and we're going to start referring to her as the hoodied girl, woman, the pipe bomber with the rare Nike shoes and running around at 7:30 and 8 o'clock at night on January 5th. We're going to start referring to her as a she, or it as a she, or I'm sorry, they as a she.
But with the whole tranny pronoun stuff, it all gets very confusing.
Yeah, I don't know what to do anymore. But according to what we have learned through a really incredible video analyst and a guy that we started working with myself about a year and a half ago, his online name is Armitage, and he does not go by his real name for security reasons, and we've protected that in the last couple of stories in which we've introduced him. But Armitage is a guy that has been absolutely obsessed with this and has dug deeper into the video than if I say he's done more than the FBI, I don't think that that's a stretch, because let me tell you what happened here, Sarah, is that not only did we start working with him a year and a half ago, but the FBI discovered his work, I think, primarily through us, but also through his own online X posts. And in March of this year, they reached out to him for his work, and they started asking him to submit his findings. And then about a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago, the Judiciary Committee General Counsel sent him a message and asked him if he would prepare a synopsis of the work that he had done for the last couple of years on the pipe bomb. So he prepared a 26-page report, which largely what this story that we just released this morning and our previous story a couple of weeks ago covered was his findings. And that was one of the things that he found, was that the original target was not the DNC, it was the Congressional Black Caucus. And then also he discovered that not only did the undercover, let's not call him undercover, the plainclothes counter surveillance United States Capitol Police officer who allegedly found the bomb at the DNC actually, for some reason, knew exactly what bush it had originally been placed under at the Congressional Black Caucus. And there was no way that he could have gone and inspected that bush without foreknowledge.
Oh. Okay. Well, and the plot thickens.
Yes, it does.
It really is. Can I just, I know we've got other stuff to get to, but I would like to just say, and Matt, you can chime in here as well. It is so frustrating when I hear this whole, the new boss the same as the old boss, right? This is part of the main reason, well, one of the main reasons that Americans elected Donald Trump, because we saw all of the corruption within all of these government agencies, and we saw the lack of transparency, and we wanted a change. And hearing that we still do not have, I mean, what was it, a couple weeks ago, the FBI was like, we just want to remind everyone that we are still offering $500,000 for anyone who has any information on the pipe bomber. And I'm like, are you guys serious? Give me a break. Matt?
Well, I'll set you up on this one, Matt.
Yeah, please.
is that when that offer was originally announced a couple of years ago, I went on the record, probably on my X account, and I said they ought to make it just $5 billion because they never intend on paying it anyway.
Right, exactly. I'm sure that is the point.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think part of the issue is we're dealing with the deep state, right? We're still dealing with the deep state. We're dealing with, all the way back to Obama and the people that he brought in. And that's going to take a long time to get rid of them, Sarah, So I think that, again, I have a friend of mine who was FBI agent for many, many years. And he said that, it's like the big middle chunk there they need to go. But it's hard. I mean, if you think it's been 10, 15 years of DEI hires, people coming in that are ideologues, and as we've seen in the federal government, they just won't move. They just won't do it. Right. It doesn't matter if Kash Patel or Dan Bongino says, hey, listen, you've got to go and do this. It doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. So I think it's going to take some time for that to rectify. I mean, it's very, very frustrating.
Yeah, it really is. So I want to let's talk about really briefly here Zohran Mamdani, who every time I pronounce his name, I'm like, I hope I'm saying that terrible. I hope I'm butchering the way that you mean to pronounce that, because I don't like you and I don't want you in my country. He now could be in trouble with the law. He's facing criminal referrals over foreign donations to his mayoral campaign. And so it turns out the Coolidge-Reagan Foundation filed these complaints with the DOJ and the Manhattan DA because of all of these. I mean, we have seen that he has received $13,000 in donations from at least 170 donors outside of the United States, which is a problem because it's illegal to accept donations from anyone who isn't a United States citizen or a resident. And so there were some that were refunded, but not all of them. And I'd like more information on who was making those foreign donations. Now, I will tell you guys, really good news about this case. You heard me say Manhattan DA. Well, that's actually Alvin Bragg. And we all know how seriously he takes campaign finance violations. So I'm expecting at least 34 felonies against Zohran. I mean, as you saw in that picture right there, one standard of justice for all in the background behind Alvin Bragg. I will expect no less, and I'm sure that we'll get it. But that's not the only thing that has come out about Mamdani. It's like every day there is a new piece of this puzzle that's coming out, and none of it is good. There's been an unearthed interview with his mother from 2013, and she said he's not an American at all. That's actually that's what she said. She said, by the way, we are not firangs. I don't know. I don't speak it. He is very much us. He is not an American at all. He was born in Uganda, raised between India and America. He is at home in many places. He thinks of himself as a Ugandan and an Indian, and that the firang is actually Hindi and an Urdu slur used to describe foreigners or Westerners. This is coming from his mother. This is his mom. I think we can trust that she knows what she's saying when she says he's not an American. It's shocking to me that we are still having this conversation, Steve.
Well, Obama's brother said that he wasn't an American either.
Fair.
So
that's fair.
We do have that in our most recent history.
And boy, how did that turn out for us? That went well, huh?
Yeah. Well, we suffered under 3 terms of Obama, so that's how it turned out for us. But no, when we start talking about Mamdani, or however the hell you say his name, the point being is that the experts that I talk to, and this is a time to bring this up, they tell me that communism is still illegal in this country. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be a communist protected under the First Amendment, that you can't still advocate for it, that you can't still teach it in a classroom, that you can't still, have your own newspaper and your own political party, maybe not on that when we get to that far, but that it's actually still illegal because it is a seditious philosophy or political platform, especially in its actual application. It's a seditious conspiracy against the Constitution of the United States. And this particular guy, Mamdani, is also an Islamicist.
Yep.
So he's a dual threat. He's a dual seditious threat against this country. And I think both of those philosophies, we need to actually use this candidacy to finally lean into this and explore it and bring that back to the forefront in the minds of the populace at large.
Yeah, you're so right, Matt. To Steve's point, he has clearly, there is a lot of people, not just Mamdani, but people who have they've abused this system of coming in here and becoming naturalized citizens. If your allegiance is to another country and if you have all of these Islamist ties, get the hell out. Let's figure out a way to denaturalize and deport. That's where I'm at.
Well, you know how I feel about this. I'm way more extreme than anybody else around when it comes to immigration. I mean,
Coming from an immigrant, I'd like to point out.
Yeah,
who did it the right way and who really loves this country and bleeds red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
which is how it should be.
It absolutely is. And I have no idea why we've kind of like dropped those standards, or we think that it's acceptable that we can bring these people in. In fact, it seems that all we have been doing over the past few years is bringing in people that hate this country. Look, again, I have no idea why people are all up in arms about fascism, but aren't all up in arms about communism. It's kind of, and secondly, the left does this brilliantly. We've spoken many, many times on this show about the way that they use words, right? So what they'll do is they'll say, if you say communism, they go, no. It's socialism. It's different.
Democrat socialism.
No, it's not. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It is the same thing, or at least it has the same ends, right?
Government-run grocery stores, come on.
Yeah.
You can't argue your way out of that one.
Exactly, and I'm all for it. Look, I said it on the show the other day. I believe that if you're an immigrant, and I say it again, I'd love to run for office. I would at some point, because I love this country so much. But I believe that immigrants should not be allowed to run for office. It's as simple as that. If you look at almost all of them, I think there's 2 on the Republican side. That's it, 2. But the other ones on the Democrat side, they're all disasters. Yeah. I mean, they want to, I mean, look at Ilhan Omar. She wants to, doesn't she identify more as a Somali?
She's literally said as a congressperson that she was there to protect Somali interests. She's just said it out loud. And she's not the only one on the Democrat side who has just said, I am here to protect my birthplace, my actual home's interests. It's actually insane that we still even entertain the idea that would be a good idea. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a break, and then I want to get into more of these stories with you guys. I want to first thank Craftco Premium, because Craftco is one of my favorites. It's very simple. They make delicious whiskey. And you know what, Steve? If you were here, Matt's pointing at it. If you were here, you would see we've got a brand new bottle over here just waiting to be opened and enjoyed. So you need to come back to Dallas sometime soon to help us. But
Okay.
I'm telling you.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Nathan was just going to get it, by the way. I could see him edging over to go and get it.
I can't just keep that waiting for much longer. Do you know how much temptation that is to just have a full bottle of Flying Ace Spirits whiskey sitting there? That's too much temptation for me, Steve. It really is. It's amazing whiskey. It's an American company who supports American values and supports, good causes like Folds of Honor, who is giving scholarships to families of America's fallen. It really is delicious stuff. And so if you're looking to upgrade your whiskey, go to their website. They've got many different flavors. I just like it. Just give me the good old-fashioned, straight-up American-made whiskey. You can go get it at flyingacespirits.com. Use promo code BLAZE for free shipping. That is flyingacespirits.com, promo code BLAZE. Well, another day and another liberal calling for, just the murder of conservatives.
Finally, if you think the Zoran thing is happening just in New York and you think people are waking up only in New York City, you're mistaken. Look at this clip of a wine mom at the No Kings March. Play the clip.
Whatever his name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit, or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period.
Now, you may be thinking to yourself, who is this evil witch? Well, her name is Jennifer Welch. And you may then say, well, what do I care what this random woman has to say? She actually has 1.3 million subscribers on YouTube. So as it turns out, there are a lot of people who are subscribing to this type of rhetoric and this type of evil, ghoulish behavior. So while this may be your first introduction to her, Democrats are listening to this, and she's literally saying the Democrat establishment needs to get on board with calling for the murder of conservatives. That's what I heard. Do I have that correct?
Pretty much. I mean, I think she's got 1.3 million subscribers because they thought she was Jigsaw.
They thought that they were watching a scary movie.
Yeah, I mean, it is Halloween. I mean, did you see that face?
I know. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the way they are. They're like a death cult. I mean, we know this. Look, I mean, liberal white women are the worst. We've said this over and over and over again. And what is she going to do?
Here she is.
Look at that. Look at that.
Steve. I can hear Steve.
Until you actually referred to her as a her and used her name, I was going to ask you what his name was, but that's just me.
Do you know what she looks like? He looks he looks like. Do you remember Die Hard? You know the guy with the long hair who's like
right. Yeah, the German killer, the German assassin guy.
The Hans guy?
No, I have a guy.
Yeah.
No, not Hans.
No, not Hans Gruber.
The blonde one.
Yes. Okay, yep. Now I got it.
Exactly.
That's really funny. Well, I mean, we can shit on her for her appearance, but the fact of the matter is they are not stopping their rhetoric. They are, in fact, amping it up. And while it's a bizarre sight to see, because while they are calling for the violence and they're calling for high-ranking Democrats to get on board with it, they're also trying to walk it back in some cases and gaslight us and be like, I've never heard a Democrat call Trump Hitler. No one's ever called Trump Hitler. What are you talking about? We've never used this inflammatory rhetoric that has led to assassination attempts on the president and the assassination of one of the most influential leaders of our generation. We've never contributed to that. What are you talking about? Here's Nicole Wallace.
I haven't suggested that Donald Trump is Hitler. I wouldn't say
I don't
that
think any Democrat has. I actually, and I think it's a smear that they project back on to critics.
Oh, I don't think no Democrat has done that. No Democrat has ever done that. That is just a figment of our imagination. That never happened, except the internet is forever, and we have receipts. Let's roll the tape.
Well, we're talking about the death of a constitutional republic. That's what happened in Germany in 1933, 1934. And we're seeing today that you've got an administration in Washington that's ignoring court orders. This is literally the end of the republic as we know it. Look, I built a Holocaust museum with survivors. I've also read a whole lot about authoritarian regimes. This is the playbook, folks. We have to save this country from what Donald Trump is doing to it, because no, I do not want this country to become like other authoritarian regimes. People have criticized me for talking about the Nazi regime. On the right, people have criticized me. It's the one I know most about because I helped to build a Holocaust museum, and I can tell you, sitting next to
with your bare hands, I doubt it, fat ass.
That what they will say in this moment is, "This is what happened." This is
okay.
What
enough of him. Enough of him. I actually wanted the other one. Let's listen to the other one.
That is a playbook out of Hitler, and I won't deny it.
It is deeply troubling and incredibly dangerous that Donald Trump would invoke Adolf Hitler, the man who is responsible for the deaths of 6 million Jews.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets.
They understand that we have a Timo Hitler in the White House right now that thinks that he is going to become the dictator of the United States.
There's an existential threat. Our democracy is hanging by a thread. Some people would say we're already an authoritarian regime.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
Me calling you, I want to be Hitler.
I mean, I don't know how much more clear it can get, Steve. They're just right. It's just that, like, we actually have the receipts.
The gaslighting is off the charts, but that's what that's their stock and trade. That's the only thing they can go back to because, as you said, the internet doesn't forget. And we've seen it all. But the problem is the other side will listen to them and go, oh, yeah, that's right. We never said that. But they're saying it all the time, and they're saying it on social media. They're repeating it. Their grassroots followers are repeating this. And I know that because I look at, I've admitted on your show before, I have a Blue Sky account. I have it for a very specific reason, so I can watch what they're saying. But the more troubling aspect, or the more troubling social media account for me is my Facebook pages, where I built years worth of thousands of followers from my time in the music industry. And I'm seeing these friends of mine and these associates and people that I've broken bread with and been on tour buses with and traveled around the world with. And I'm hearing their rhetoric now and echoing this. And that frightens me because the brainwashing, the gaslighting is effective and it does work.
Yeah. Steve, to me, that sounds like you need to cull the herd. It sounds like we need to cull some of the retards on your Facebook page. I'm sorry. I know I said it, not Steve Baker. Steve did not use that term to talk about those people. It was just me, Matt.
Well, look, I mean, it's classic Democrat, right? They have absolutely no principles. So if they have to lie, they'll lie. If they have to cheat, they'll cheat. And if they have to steal, they'll steal. I mean, we know this. So we saw it throughout COVID when all of a sudden they went, well, we never said it. We never said that the vaccine was 100% effective. Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you
Literally
did.
No. On tape. It's on X. Yeah.
But this is what they do over and over. And it's very frustrating. But I'm glad that we understand now that all they want to do is win and they'll do whatever they can to get power. And this is what you're seeing.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back. Let's move over to Don Lemon. Now, we've known for a while that Don Lemon is not a big fan of women. And I don't just mean because he's gay. I don't just mean because he is not exit only. I mean because that was why he was fired from CNN. He made these disparaging comments about women being, quote, past their prime. But I did not realize that in the year of our Lord, 2025, you are allowed to joke about trans women. You tell me, is Don Lemon going to get canceled over this?
Is Megyn Kelly chopped?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what is chopped. I've heard it, but I don't know what that means. What does chopped mean?
She's gonna get mad at me, dude. I don't know if I want this here.
What does chopped mean?
Chopped means like not hot.
Yeah, she's chopped. I don't know, the whole MAGA look.
It's all the MAGA ladies.
Too much.
Look. Kind of looks like a Barbie doll covered in like WD-40.
I think she looks trans.
Uh-oh.
Let's end on that note.
She looks clockable.
Uh-oh. It sounds like Don Lemon was using that as an insult, but I was told that trans women are women and that trans women are actually much more beautiful, I think. Let's listen to that.
Like when people are trying to be mean, they're like, she looks trans. And I'm like, why do you think that's a diss?
Wait, totally.
As if being like trans is a diss
Totally.
or like some of the most beautiful women in the world and
Literally.
men in the world are trans. So
Totally.
I just don't take that
They
offensively
are
at all.
so beautiful. Let's see some of this beauty, guys. Oh my gosh, Caitlyn Jenner. So feminine and beautiful. Or we have,
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here.
Yeah, this beauty.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
It's ma'am.
Ma'am.
It's ma'am. Also, everyone's favorite, Dylan Mulvaney, who is clearly so beautiful. Let's see, Dick Levine, who is, oh my gosh, the femininity in that picture is just, incredible. And then we have one more here. Oh, actually, sorry, that one shouldn't have been in there. That's Katie Porter. I don't think she's trans. I think she's...
Sorry, that's my fault, but I mean...
it's close enough. It's fine. It's close enough. But Steve, I would just like to say, like, you can comment on the trans issue, but also Megyn Kelly. I just was with her in person over the weekend when she was here in Dallas, and she is, without a doubt, objectively one of the most beautiful women I have ever been in front of. I couldn't believe it. You know, sometimes like you're on a screen and they can put filters on the cameras or whatever, and it's like, well, maybe they don't look as good. She somehow looked better in real life. I was like, everything about you is perfect. I love you.
I've had a crush on her for 20 years.
Me
so
too.
I'm with you. Yeah, exactly. But I will also say, just to be fair and balanced, and I'm wondering if our friend Matt will agree with me or not, but I have been fooled before by, fortunately never too far. But I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you the first time that I was ever fooled. Going back 1982, I was in a nightclub and I was standing next to the band leader. He jumped off the stage real quick and he came over to me and he pointed out, he said, "You see that gal right there on the dance floor?" He said, "Look at her." And she was hot. I mean, she was hot. This is 1982, by the way, long before the trans thing. And he goes, "Look at her hands." And I looked at her hands and I went, he goes, "Exactly."
And Steve went over and pulled the hair off and went, "It's a man."
That's a man. Oh my gosh. Well, and by the way, that's a great story, Steve. By the way, Megyn Kelly, 54 years old. She looks better than most 25-year-olds. She is 54, somehow aging backward. And Don Lemon wants to comment on a female's beauty. Why don't you stick to your gay stuff you're doing, Don? You clearly don't know a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never going to take advice from a gay man on whether or not a woman is beautiful. I mean, it used to be actually many, many years ago, certainly in the 80s, that the gays would really love people like Cindy Crawford and Christy Turlington, and they're objectively beautiful women. But for some reason, that has gone out the window. And I actually commented on X about this because I'm very, when it's people that we know, or you want to be respectful because Megyn's married and.
Right.
But I said, she's objectively beautiful. Yes. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I wouldn't say hot because I think that implies something else. Like,
that's too crude.
No,
Can I say she's hot?
Yeah, you can say she's hot, but I mean, it's like, it kind of implies that you're attracted to them. And I think that when they're married, like you go, no, she's objectively beautiful, and she is. Yeah. I mean, and she's smart as well, which,
she's the whole package.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was one of those people that Don Lemon was talking to, that the person who was talking looked trans. So I don't even know. Listen, the point is, I don't think we need to be taking advice on beauty from those retards. That's my point. Matt Marsden, Blaze TV contributor, Steve Baker, Blaze Media's investigative journalist. Come home soon, Steve.
I miss you guys.
Miss you guys.